All right, we got two public hearings. The first one is to establish the tax levy for fiscal year 2021, 2022, beginning April 2022. Got your stuff?
I'm ready. That's it.
Okay.
You just asked if there's comments.
Any comments?
Oh, that's not here.
Okay. Number two, public hearing to consider proposed annexation and zoning of 3.12 acres currently known as 17310 Highway B. Future address is going to be 2395 Main Street, Boonville, Missouri. Any comments or questions? There being none, it's accepted.
Yeah, you can close public hearing.
Now we get to stand up. Barry, lead us loud.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh Lord, we come together tonight to do the city's work, city's business, and we pray that we help this council make the best as possible decisions for the citizens of Boonville. Thank you. Amen.
Amen. Roll call.
Elbert,
Here.
Venable,
Here.
Turner,
Yeah, here.
Stock, Young,
Here.
Meadows, Cowherd,
Here.
Harville.
Here. All right. We have a quorum. Hearing of citizens' comments. We're going to start out with Craig because he scheduled himself. And we should honor his request.
Thank you.
Craig Meyer, ladies and gentlemen, from Affordable Equity Partners. How you been, sir?
We can share if you're tight. It's okay. We're friends. I'm just making sure she's really nice.
Good evening. And like Ned said, my name is Craig Meyer with Affordable Equity Partners, and I'm here with Jay Birchfield with TerraVest Development Corp. And we are proposing a development called Village at Kemper Greens. I believe last year was here. We did some rezoning. This is a project that's going to be located down on the old Kemper Golf Course, kind of behind where the old car wash was. Actually be where the golf cart storage and the maintenance shed location is. There's 8.8 acres there. And so we are proposing with the Missouri Housing Development Commission to do a development out there using low-income housing tax credits, and wanted to come to the council to ask for a resolution of support for what our project is. It is so the application to Missouri Housing Development Commission is a competitive application process throughout the state of Missouri. Last year there was, excuse me, there was over 60 projects that were applied for, and I believe there's 28 that were actually awarded tax credits for the financing of the projects. So it is a very competitive process. We believe that this year it's going to be even more competitive with kind of with all the economics of the developments going on and the availability of the financing through MHDC. So what we are proposing, you'll see, so the front page is a kind of a preliminary site map of the project. We are going to be developing a, will consist of 3 two-story buildings that will have a total of 48 units in it, that will be comprised of 12 two-bedroom, one-bathroom units, 24 3-bedroom, 2-bath units, and 12 4-bedroom, 2-bath units. And this is going to be aimed at the at a family demographic, which would be Basically, we aim it for the 55 and under category, but it is not limited to that. So seniors are able to live there if they wish to. The difference, if it was a senior project, then it limits that you have to be 55 plus to be able to live there. But kind of with the current demographics that we have going on with the city of Boonville, with the expansion, well, with the Kawasaki manufacturing that has come to town, they started out, I believe, with bringing in 270 jobs. They have the expansion that they're going to be increasing their workforce up to, I believe, 500 plus, I believe, what I've read. Then with CMMG, that having expanded their facilities and manufacturing force out there. So several different things. We've got a lot of great positives that are going on in the city of Boonville from that standpoint. And our research has indicated that there is a pretty strong demand for family housing in the city of Boonville. So a couple of the other items that I've got it in the packet there for you just kind of shows the, how the location will be. One thing that I forgot to mention, so it is going to be with the, like I say, the three two-story buildings that will be housing those. But we'll also have a separate community building, which if you look there at the beginning on the right-hand side where the driveway comes into it, that is a separate 2,000 square foot community building. It'll have has a community room that will be open to the residents there 24/7. It has a completely fully furnished kitchen area to it, so that residents are able to use it to have family gatherings or anything down there. It is equipped with we'll have 6 computer workstations that the residents are able to have access to for various needs that they have. But also within, will be a fitness facility in there, not a full-fledged gym, but we'll have some fitness equipment in there for the residents. But there is also on-site management office. So we do have a manager that occupies the office there throughout the week. So they are intimately knowledgeable of everything and what is going on at the project. So we feel that that is one of the differences that we bring to the table with our developments, that we are a fully integrated development. We working with TerraVest, where affordable equity, we are the equity investor, but we also have a management company. So our history is working with developers and developing and building all the way through the management. We currently have over 5,000 units around the country in 13 different states that we manage. Missouri is one of our primary home locations that we have that we take care of. So I can't actually tell you how many units in Missouri that we have, but our history is that we develop, build, and manage the properties throughout the 30-year compliance period on our projects. So that's one of the strengths that we bring to our projects. So
Questions from the council?
yes. Yes, ma'am.
What other cities in Missouri do you have?
So our home office is in Columbia, so we have, I think we have six or seven properties in Columbia that we have, but then we're also, we're building in Springfield, Kirksville, we have several down in the St. Louis market, building one in Macon, Brookfield, Kansas City, Branson, Joplin. So, we've got several. So we currently have 6 in Missouri that are currently under construction from last year's awards, and we had 6 from the previous year that are finishing up construction. So we're very involved in the projects from the, like I say, the development and construction and those will all be personally managed by our companies.
Any other questions?
I got one.
Steve?
How about areas for the kids? It looks like you got a lot of space back here.
So there is a playground that will be on there. I don't think that has been really labeled in here yet. Possibly be within that center area or kind of in the that northern
okay,
triangle
gotcha.
part of it there.
Okay, right there in the middle.
Yeah.
That's good.
But there's a lot of the area to the north of it, we're
Yes.
not able to actually use that from when they did some of the excavation back when they were kind of doing some of the other development area. There's some excavation that happened that created a wetland area, which you see that is kind of shown on the picture there. Of course, then there's a kind of flood zone that runs with the creek there on the west side. So. And we'll also have a walking trail that will connect through, that will actually go across the old golf cart crossing, and will meet up over with the other street on the other side to be able to have access over to the Head Start and Dollar General and anything that'll.
Pretty close to Katy Trail also,
Yeah, so,
just right across the football field.
yeah, football fields length away from there. So we feel that it's a really good location for the development down there in that area, kind of with, central into the city area, but kind of open and kind of gives some area for, for the kids to be able to run or something like that, so.
Two questions. One, you guys currently own all of this land, right?
No, we're under option to purchase from GRM
Okay.
that currently owns the property.
The second question, from the city, you're asking basically, are we interested, and what else would you require from the city?
So the only thing of what we are asking from the city at this point is a letter of support that basically is just stating that the city feels that the project, is warranted, that you feel that it, provides some good service to the community, and is just simply that. So so within the application process, there's a couple of different things that we're required that we have to do. The minimal that we're required from MHDC is that we send out a letter of notification to the council members, to the mayor, to other community officials. So that's the minimum requirement that we have to do. We want to be able to come to the city council and ask that you would be able to pass a resolution of support that that basically says to MHDC that this is a good project, and we do believe that it has good merit and should be considered for the investment coming in. So. We are looking, we're going to be, so just our construction cost on this will be right around $15 million. So that'll be a direct investment that we'll be putting directly into the city with our investment on that. So.
Thank you.
Good question. Anybody else have a question? Okay. Thanks, Craig. It's
Thank you
good
very
to see
much.
man.
Good to see you.
Are there any more public comments? I see some anxious people.
Good evening, I'm Ken Hurlinger, this is Mary Pat Obley. You may remember us from being here at your last meeting to talk to you about sipping, strolling, rocking, and rolling in downtown Boonville. And I think you have some information in your packet there. This thing has kind of been snowballing. It's picking up a lot of steam, and obviously needs your support to pull this off. We have a couple of our committee members here tonight, and if you all give us any trouble, they're going to be right after.
They're the enforcers?
Yes.
Hey, Ken,
So at
Ken.
any rate, I'm going to turn
Ken,
this,
can you sign in, please?
well, there's nothing to sign here.
There should have been, oh, I bet our previous person took the sign-in sheet. I'll give you a sheet of
I
paper.
made sure to get it up there today.
Okay. I Carve my name in here, I'm down here often enough.
There we go. Just put a little harder around it.
Here,
Yeah.
here, hold on, I got one, let me tear it out.
Do that, don't you?
Well, actually,
I've never
it's gonna
done that.
take away from my adjournment.
Let's just do the
He
backside.
can keep talking.
Just
Then
do
we'll-
Yeah,
the
just
back.
keep talking.
Just do
I'll
this. Right, Pat?
Yes.
Just do the backside
Here.
of that.
Doug's
Okay.
got one. Wait, we'll take
Yeah,
that.
there you go, perfect, thanks Doug.
I am refused.
I do have like a 5-minute stand-up
It was
routine.
there, I
You got
swear,
it.
it was
I
there.
was, I looked at it. So I was like,
Yes.
wait, what?
So anyway,
Sorry.
we've been working very hard with the downtown merchants and maps and everything else. And Mary Pat has worked so hard on so much of this. She can explain to you the logistics and answer any questions you have.
Got any questions? Barry?
No.
Whitney? Okay, then don't. Albert?
I do have a question. I probably should know the answer to this, but I don't. What is the open container? What is the regular ordinance on that? You're asking for suspension of that. What is it under normal circumstances?
So under normal circumstances, you cannot have an open container of an alcoholic beverage on the street.
So what are we suspending?
I'm sorry.
What are we suspending if it's under normal
So
circumstances?
if somebody's carrying a glass that's got something in it, we're not suggesting people are gonna stand around and drink on Main Street. But,
Not loudly, anyway.
But we think they'll be sipping and strolling, for sure.
yeah, so it just clears the air for a few hours. So it's from
It just,
2 o'clock to 7 o'clock.
it's emphasizing that that's not allowed.
It is
Right.
allowed.
It
It
is
is
allowed.
allowed.
Is it allowed?
Yeah, it
It is
will
allowed.
lift
Few
the open
hours.
container so people can walk through
Oh, okay,
downtown.
I was, okay.
Yeah, they want
They can only
Good.
walk in these yellow lines right here with the open container law, is what you're saying?
Yes,
Yes.
Okay, they can't walk anyplace else.
they can walk only in those designated
Only,
areas.
only in the areas that are designated on the map is what we're asking for.
I see. Are you come after them with a club, right?
We will, we plan to have volunteers that will not necessarily be enforcers like the police, but will be there
I'm
to
only
guide,
kidding.
the crowd.
Yeah, I fully understand.
We do have electronic signs on both ends. Emergency management's going to lend us to warn drivers that there's probably a high number of pedestrians. Not to mention the vendors will be down in the parking area, the various people that are in this business and providing taste.
Questions, Steve? Susan?
So,
I'm good.
All right. Andrew?
looking forward to it.
Yep. Si?
You guys are, the parking lot closures, the only question I had was, is Maggie's okay with those too? I mean, have you talked to her?
We have talked to Maggie's, and they are very supportive. In fact, are coming up with some specials that they can do, as well as downtown merchants are planning to stay open, many of them until 7 at least or later that night.
Okay.
We've had great cooperation and have had some really good suggestions from the merchants, and have taken those into consideration and added those to our plans.
Cool. That was my only question.
Steve?
So, did we get is there a way to keep these people safe, that the vendors and stuff that are on Main Street? Because traffic will
I have
continue to come through.
I've talked with Kate and with the departments that are involved there about how the cones can be actually there on the curb and then moved out for the no parking area, and then a cordon, something that would go from cone to cone to indicate, so that traffic can see them and they will have a boundary too, so they're not stepping back into traffic.
Sounds good.
What about, I'm just curious, you may have covered the bathroom privileges and where
We do have porta potties that have,
they'll be located within this.
they're, I believe, 2 different maps. There are 3 different locations for the porta potties that will have a regular unit as well as a handicapped unit and a wash station.
1, 2, 3.
And those should be marked on one of the maps.
Okay.
of them.
They are.
Okay, you all comfortable with us doing a resolution?
Wait, it's already on the agenda, so.
That's why I asked the question.
Well, we need your support, and the city staff has just been
They've
phenomenal
been,
to work with.
absolutely, have been wonderful, and questions that are asked, we feel like this is kind of a maiden voyage, not just for us, but for the city. And we intend to have a full staff of volunteers to do everything we can to make it work well, bring lots of people to Boonville, and it just gives me goosebumps to think of just in the last week, the excitement that we have heard. And just in talking with people about them bringing family, friends from out of the area here. So we're looking forward to it and welcome any suggestions that you have.
I'm just curious, do we ever have like a post-evaluation of events like this?
We do personally
That you can
evaluate
bring
it.
before the council? I
We
guess
don't
I would-
necessarily bring them to the council, but we certainly can.
I would kind of be interested in how is it perceived, and from your viewpoint and from people that attend, some kind of a post-evaluation, if that's not.
Okay, I think that's good, and we would do that anyway. We'd be happy to bring it to the council and
That would be good.
and also welcome your ideas. You know,
Sure.
even though things can be very good, they can always be improved.
Thank you all.
Thank you all.
Anybody else like to give us a public comment? Okay. Move on to the approval of the minutes of the August 15, 2022 council meeting, on pages 5 through 11. Any questions, comments, corrections, red flags? And we will accept them as submitted. Item 5, consent items. Consider pay request order number 1 from Grice Trucking and Excavating in the amount of $143,055.28. It's on page 1213. Is there a motion?
We can do both at the same time.
Let's do both at the same time. Thanks. Consider change order number 1 from Grice Trucking and Excavation in the amount of $0 for FEMA stormwater improvements. I have a motion.
Mayor, make a motion to approve these.
Thank you, Whitney. Second. Susan, thank you. Questions or comments?
Is this the end of the Morgan Street construction project, or close to it?
Close to it.
It's close to it. We found some of the metal pipe that ran under the road. We found some holes in it, so we're gonna have to go some place in order to seal that up. That's what's remaining in the project. And that's part of the project.
That's the Market Street out there by the park you're talking about.
Yeah,
Yes.
it runs under Morgan.
Yeah, that's the bridge repair that they're talking about. But that was your question, right?
Yeah, I was talking about, is he talking about the Market Street where that lady lives at? Is that the one he's talking about?
No, that project is finished.
That one's finished.
That project is finished,
This is the
okay.
one that's by the casino.
So is this change order we talking about right now?
We're talking about both of them right now?
Right, both. The stage payment and the change order.
So what is this free, on item 10, this fence removal and replacement? Could you explain that to me? He took down the fence, now we gotta pay for it to put it back up? Wasn't that in the budget
The
already?
initial design, we had access where they had to remove the fencing in order to get access to the site. Grice decided to go onto the railroad property because he works with the railroad and therefore did not remove the fence. So we're removing that item from the pay application through a change order.
So on item 12, could you explain to me on these items? for the change order. I see Grice had a change order on Site B and Site A.
There are two sites out there. There are two separate FEMA projects that we combined into one. I believe Site A is out by the pedestrian bridge that goes to Casino. And Site B is the culvert pipe that's under Morgan Street. That is the Casino entrance, by the entrance. And as it indicated in the change order, the fence removal and replacement is being taken out of the project because it was not done. The 78-inch steel pipe was repaired, or is going to be repaired. We had to extend some storm sewer pipes that when we were doing excavation that we did not have, they did not know that they were there, they were uncovered. So we extended them so that we could bring them out to the grade. And then the access road and tree removal, which you went on to the railroad site in order to not have to remove that ornamental fence.
So my question to you is, did he not even look at the job to see what he had to do, you know, before he put his bid in? You know what I mean? Did he go out there and actually look at it and see what he should do when he put the bid in, you know, how much it's gonna cost?
Yes, he did.
Because I'm just really concerned about these change orders. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense to me.
Well,
When you come back
we
and
looked at
ask
the job, and when we put the plans together, we put bid line items into the plans based on what we saw out there. When he started construction, we got a rain. We determined that there was water flowing underneath the pipe that we did not know about. We did further investigation and found that there were several holes in the steel pipe, of which we have to correct in order to prevent any water from migrating underneath that pipe and deteriorating what we just put in. It's an unforeseen situation that requires a change order.
But he didn't go down there and look at the pipe or anything. He just said, well, this is gonna cost X, Y, and Z, and then he submitted it to the Boonville.
No, we went down and looked through it. We walked the entire pipe.
So he didn't see that, the holes or anything?
We put the bid line items together. He's the one that bids the project according to what we have in the line items in the design.
I understand what Barry is talking about here, because I struggle a bit with this as well. In my own personal situation, if I hire someone to put a roof on my house, okay? He or she comes over and they give me a bid on putting the roof on. Okay, I'm not much interested in them coming back later and saying, you know what, I didn't see this, I didn't see that, I didn't see this, so it's gonna be another $1,000. That's the issue, I think, that Barry is talking about, and I tend to agree with that. And I'd like, if you can talk through, why is that justified here?
Okay, the engineer puts the bid together, puts the specification of the bid documents together. We go out there with our survey crew, we survey it, we design it, we try and find every situation that we can find that may be a problem. We put line items, as you can see in the pay request on page 2. There are line items for everything that we do. There is 14 in this project.
On page 13?
Mobilization, traffic control, temporary construction signs, so forth and so on.
Right.
All right? The contractor has to supply a unit price for every line item that we put in the contract documents.
When you say, I don't want to debate this thing. When you say we, who are you talking about? You?
Yes.
You listed these 14 things here.
That's correct.
Okay, and the contractor puts a number with them. Is that
That's
right?
correct.
And you okay that number? Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay.
We okay that number?
Well,
The city
he's-
approves it, yes. But when we get into construction,
32 signs at $62, I have no idea. Well, you're asking me to approve that, and I don't know what's.
No, you're
we're
going
relying
based
on-
off of,
We're relying on your
I
judgment.
think, to
That's
be clear
correct.
though, when you accept a bid, 99% of the time, we take the low bid as we're required by law if they're a responsible bidder. So in a bid for council, there's lots of line items, but let's say company A bids it at 100 and company B bids it at 90,000. As a council, you're gonna take that low bid. It doesn't matter what their line items are, because you're gonna take the low bid.
Well, now, do we? We
but-
always
but-
take the
but-
low bid?
Almost always. By
Yes.
law, we have to, unless we preclude someone, which we have done once.
But okay, we take the bid, the lowest bid, and then come back later on, he wants $20,000, and the guy that bid high, he was bid at $20,000. So we didn't take the lowest bid, we just took a low bid that was given us, then you got a change order coming through here, and he's asked for another $20,000.
But typically on a change order also, just to be clear, so what happens is the contractor gets into something and he says, did you know there was a stormwater pipe down here, or whatever the issue is? So at that point in time, work pauses. Clay or Scott, or Clay, Scott, and Jeff, and myself, depending on the severity of the situation, we all get on site and with the contractor, and we discuss how to remedy or address the situation. And then Scott will review a change order and recommend or not recommend it. And sometimes, again, they might say it costs this much, and Scott might say, maybe that seems a little, I mean, there is some negotiation that goes on back and forth before we bring it to you to make sure that it's appropriate in
Well,
cost.
see, that would be nice to know, because I think, and maybe my colleagues do, but I don't know what all you've gone through before we got to this point here. And I think that would be nice to know that, so we can make a reasonable judgment on some of these things.
Those are the steps.
What's that?
Those are the steps. They're the line items that we
Yeah,
go through each time on a project. And it is not a perfect, it is not a perfect process.
Well, I mean, it's no different. I mean, I understand the hidden damage. I mean, on automobile, you have an accident, the adjuster will give you a break, and once they get in and start to repair, they may find some other thing. I understand that, but does that, if you see a lot of change order, what does that say about the contractor? Or does it say anything? I think it does.
It depends on who's looking at it first.
Well,
Okay.
a lot of things depend, but anyway,
Right,
I
yeah.
probably, go ahead, I don't want to.
you're fine.
Steve's got a question for you.
I don't have a question, but
comment?
to take your example about a roof,
Yes.
a lot of times they don't know what's under that roof. The sheeting and stuff can be bad. So a lot of times they'll bid it, the roof price plus any sheeting that needs to be
Well, I
replaced
understand that,
underneath.
Steve.
So you don't know what's gonna be there until you tear the
I
project
understand that,
apart.
but go ahead and put that on my estimate. Go
Yeah.
ahead and tell me that.
It might cost, just put like, it might be an overrun of $10,000 or $2,000. Say, you know what I mean, well, I'm gonna give you an extra $2,000 in this case you go over the board. But right here, how do we know? You know what I mean?
I think also, just to clarify, that's one reason why we put a contingency in every budget, so there's always a 10% contingency. And like in this case, the offsets and the changes, sometimes the project is never over budget. We might use the contingency, so like this is actually a $0 change order. It's not costing the project anymore, we just changed the way we did it. So instead of removing the fence, we now went on the railroad property. So we added a line item and took out one item. So sometimes that also has to be approved though. So that's what this one is really. It's just a no-cost change order.
So it's not $21,000 we're gonna pay then for a change order?
No, it's a no-cost change order.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a
All right.
zero.
Thanks, Scott.
All right.
Need a roll call.
Roll call.
To approve it. All right. Roll call?
Elbert,
Yes.
Venable,
Yes.
Turner,
Yes.
Young,
Yes.
Meadows,
Yes.
Cowherd.
Yes.
Harville.
Here. Yes. Sure, let's pay it.
We're on presentation of accounts and claims. Page 16.
Ordinance appropriating money. Be it ordained by the council of the city of Boonville as follows. Section 1, for the purpose of paying salaries and various accounts against the city of Boonville which have been allowed by the council at the regular meeting thereof on September 6, 2022, in the sum of $1,030,233.88. General fund, $289,840.06. Sanitation, $54,896.74. CIP tax, $51,084.28. Waterworks, $263,765.66. Capital projects, $17,764.78. Wastewater, $162,440.16. Tourism, $15,792.50. Gaming, $168,725.98. Parks and Water, $4,688.92. Kemper sales tax, $1,234.80. Economic development projects, $0.00. Section 2, the accountant is hereby authorized and instructed to draw checks on the respective city bank accounts in favor of the persons whose salaries and accounts have been allowed as above, amounting to $1,030,233.88, being the total amount of money being appropriated. Section 3, this ordinance shall take effect and be enforced from and after its passage. First reading on September 6, 2022, read for the second time this September 6, 2022, since a copy was made available prior to the meeting.
Second reading, title only.
Ordinance appropriating money.
Mayor, I make a motion that we pay these accounts.
Thanks, Susan. Second?
Second.
Thank you, Whitney. Questions, comments?
Kate, can you voice over the large variance on a couple of these compared to normal?
Yeah, I knew you were gonna ask me. I'm prepared. Okay, so just several things as it happens have come in. So first, we bought a sewer camera, and that was $96,000, but it was a procurement that's gonna save us because previously we had to contract it all out. So it was in our capital plan when we did our budgeting. Two other pieces of equipment, a mini track hoe and then a John Deere track hoe, I believe. Came in, the mini track hoe, if you remember, we purchased that track hoe, the bigger piece of equipment, and then we sold it right back, and so that piece finally came in. A trailer was purchased. The fire department had some SCBA units come in. The security cameras for tourism, Rolling Hills, and city services are all in this appropriation, and then $100,000 roughly of the air conditioner at City Hall. So it was just a big capital project month.
Thank you. Question?
Appreciate it.
Steve?
So is the air conditioner fixed? Not yet.
They're working on it. We're still here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still here.
Can't you tell?
Good question, Steve. Any other questions? Roll call.
Elbert,
Yes.
Venable,
Yes.
Turner,
Yes.
Young,
Yes.
Meadows,
Yes.
Cowherd,
Yes.
Harville.
Yes. And also here.
Item 7, unfinished business. Third reading of bill number 2022-019, approving a rezoning application for 213 East Ashley Road. Motion?
Amber needs to read it first.
An ordinance of the City of Boonville, Missouri approving the rezoning application for Top Dog Training LLC located at 213 East Ashley Road.
Okay, Susan.
I make a motion, we approve this bill.
Thank you. Second?
I second that.
Oh.
We're gonna go with Barry.
Okay.
Get him next time, Si. Get him next time.
I tried, Barry.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? Roll call.
Flip my page. Elbert,
Yes.
Venable,
Yes.
Turner,
Yes.
Young,
Yes.
Meadows,
Yes.
Cowherd,
Yes.
Harville.
Yes.
Motion passes. Item B, second reading of bill number 2022-020 for approving annexation of 3.12 acres, currently known as 17310 Highway B. The future address is 2395 Main Street. This is the third,
This isn't, this is just so everybody knows, there's gonna be a third reading.
the third and final reading, and therefore the vote will be at the next council meeting. Item C, second reading.
Amber needs to read it.
If we're not gonna vote on it, why do we read it?
You always have to read
Sorry,
them.
I'm
Okay.
taking the line right away. An ordinance of the City of Boonville, Missouri annexing certain contiguous territory owned by Jennifer and Dan Allison, located at 17310 Highway B, Cooper County, Missouri, future address 2395 Main Street, into the City of Boonville, Missouri, zoning the property as C1 Commercial District, providing an effective date therefore, and repealing all ordinances in conflict with this ordinance.
Item C, second reading of bill number 2022-021, approving preliminary site plan for Scooter's Coffee at 2395 Main Street.
Hold on, I'm trying to find it. Okay. An ordinance of the City of Boonville, Missouri, approving the preliminary site plan for the construction of Scooter's Coffee located at 17310 Highway B, Cooper County, Boonville, Missouri. Future address is 2395 Main Street.
Item D, second reading of bill number 2022-022, approving the preliminary site plan for Club Car Wash at 2420 Boonslick Drive. We need to vote this one.
Yeah, this one gets a vote.
An ordinance of the City of Boonville, Missouri, approving the preliminary site plan for the Acreage Properties LLC, 2420 Boonslick Drive, Cooper County, Boonville, Missouri, providing an effective date therefore, and repealing all ordinances in conflict with this ordinance.
Is there a motion?
Mayor, make a motion, we approve this bill.
Thank you, Whitney. Second,
I'll second.
Andrew? Questions, comments? Roll call.
Albert,
Yes.
Venable,
Yes.
Turner.
Yes.
Young,
Yes.
Meadows,
Yes.
Cowherd,
Yes.
Harville.
Yes.
Passes. Number 8, new business. A, first and second reading of bill number 2022-023, establishing the tax levy for fiscal year 2021. It's on pages 17 and 18.
An ordinance of the City of Boonville, Missouri, establishing the rate of taxes to be levied on all property subject to taxes in the City of Boonville, Missouri for the fiscal year beginning April 1, 2022. Be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Boonville, Missouri as follows. Section 1, the rate of taxes for the use and benefit of the City of Boonville, Missouri for the fiscal year beginning April 1, 2022 are hereby established as follows. The rate of taxes for general fund shall be 70.35 cents per $100 assessed valuation. Section 3, this ordinance shall be in full force and effect from and after its passage and approval. Section 3, all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict with this ordinance are hereby repealed. First reading September 6, 2022, read for the second time and passed this 6th day of September 2022, after a copy of this ordinance had been made available for public inspection prior to its first reading and based upon information received subsequent to the first reading from the Missouri State Auditor's Office, including final numbers and pro forma tax rate calculations regarding tax rate ceilings in compliance with Section 137.073 RSMO and Article Section 2022 Missouri Constitution, all of which have been included in a notice of public hearing as approved by law. Approved the 6th day of September 2022.
Second reading.
I already read it once.
I know.
Take a motion on it.
Let's have a motion to approve.
I have a question.
Oh,
Is
I
this
think
thing,
we do need to do a second reading title only. I'm sorry.
Thank you, you just did it. Do you have to do second reading?
Yes.
Do it.
An ordinance of the City of Boonville, Missouri establishing the rates of taxes to be levied on all property subject to taxes in the City of Boonville, Missouri for the fiscal year beginning April 1, 2022.
And Si, we'll do your question after we have a motion and a second to approve.
sure.
Motion to approve.
So moved.
Whitney, thank you. Second.
I'll second.
Thank you, Andrew. Si?
Question, is this an increase?
It's .00004 thousandths of an increase. 0.0004.
Difference between this.
It was last year, it was .7031. This year it's .7035.
Kate, can you explain how we arrived at that number?
I do not come to this number. The auditor tells me this number.
So
I
it's
get it in the mail.
The outside auditor.
How long were we at the .7031 number?
That would have been the 21 number, I'm sorry. And then I could look up whatever 20 was, but the increases are generally that minuscule steps.
But it does increase yearly.
Do you have a thought, Si?
Yeah, that's my number one complaint of everybody that in my ward is that we pay too much sales taxes.
This is property tax,
Same, it's taxes.
but it's not the same as a sales tax.
It's a
but yeah.
tax. You still have to pay it. It's out of my pocket.
Yeah, I'm just saying this is the property tax rate, not the sales tax rate.
Do we have a little more control over the sales tax?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you, Si.
Sales tax is what we get.
Yeah, we had that conversation the other day.
Any other questions or comments? Roll call.
Oh, sorry. Albert?
No.
Threw me off there. Sorry, I'm used to. Venable?
Yes.
Turner?
Yes.
Young?
Yes?
Meadows?
Yes.
Cowherd?
Yes.
Harville?
No.
What was it?
Motion passed.
What was the vote?
It was 2
I'm doing
noes.
both.
And 1, 2, 3,
Anytime.
5 yeses.
Okay.
Yeses.
Just making
I was
sure.
about to say, I was like,
It was
Did we need a super majority?
We don't need
for
a
that?
super
I
majority,
didn't
no.
think so. Okay. All right, did that. Okay, item B, consider resolution R 2022-12, suspending the prohibition of consumption of alcohol beverages in open containers on city sidewalks and streets for September 24, 2022. This is on page 19.
a resolution of the City of Boonville, Missouri, suspending the prohibition of consumption of alcoholic beverages and possession of open containers of intoxicating beverages on city sidewalks and streets in a specified downtown area for events taking place on September 24, 2022, and providing an effective date therefore. Whereas Article Section 1490 Boonville City Code prohibits the consumption of alcoholic beverages on the city's right-of-way, including public ways, streets, alleys, parks, and other places owned by the city. And whereas the City Council desires to suspend the prohibition in Article Section 1490 Boonville City Code within downtown Boonville for the time herein specified and for the areas specifically defined in Exhibit A. Therefore, be it resolved in the City Council of the City of Boonville, Missouri as follows. 1, the City Council hereby suspends the prohibitions in Section 1490 Boonville City Code within the downtown area defined in Exhibit A for events taking place on September 24, 2022. Consumption of alcoholic beverages and possession of open containers of intoxicating beverages will be expressly permitted on the city's right-of-way, including public way, streets, alleys, parks, and public premise and other places owned by the City of Boonville. Section 2, the suspension of prohibition of consuming intoxicating beverages and possessing open containers shall be from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. in the defined areas on September 24, 2022. Section 3, the suspension does not impact city codes relating to public intoxication, driving under the influence, or any other city ordinances related to intoxicating beverages. Section 4, this resolution shall take effect and be in full force from and after its passage and approval. Passed the 6th day of September 22 by the City Council of Boonville, Missouri.
Mayor, make a motion to approve this resolution.
Thank you, Whitney. Second?
I'll second.
Yeah, thank you, Andrew. Questions, comments? Roll call.
Albert,
Yes.
Venable,
Yes.
Turner,
Yes.
Young,
Yes.
Meadows,
Yes.
Howard,
Yes.
Harville.
Yes.
Item C, street parking closure request, closure request. It's on page 19. That's the beverages. Where's the street closure?
There's no ordinance, it's just a regular street closure, so just a motion and approval.
Aha. Could I have a motion to, yes, Susan?
I move that we approve the street closures.
Okay. Second? All right, Whitney's got the second. Questions, comments? Roll call.
Albert,
Yes.
Venable,
Yes.
Turner,
Yes.
Young,
Yes.
Meadows,
Yes.
Howard,
Yes.
Harville.
Yes.
Report of standing committees, we have none. Report of city officials, city administrator.
Sorry. All right, just several items I want to touch on. First of all, the small committee, there's a memo. We went through the vacant lot bids that we received. It should be in the packet.
I don't see it for some reason. Did anybody else see
Did I
it?
not get it in there?
See y'all.
Did you see that thing? I did. Okay, well, I'm happy to talk about it. We can print the memo really quickly, but essentially, we reviewed the memo, or the bids received. We recommended that we take all of the high bids as it happens. And we don't need to do any of this today. I just wanted, if you guys were generally in agreement that we would proceed with having Doug, we'd reach out to the people and see that they were still interested, and then we would proceed. So the bids that we received for 9 Hart Street, the high bid was $2,500. On 747th Street, the high bid, and that was for Daniel Bruce, representing the Impact Activity Center. For 747th Street, 512 Investment Company was the high bid at $5,000. And if you're curious, we received 3 bids on that one.
What was that address?
747th.
Oh, cool.
And the other bids were, one was for $3,001 and one was for $2,600. For 313 Morgan Street, we had 2 bids. Make sure I don't skip. Oh, 3 bids again. I'm sorry. The high bid was $3,500. That was Beach Family Investments. The next bid was $3,001, and then there was a bid for $2,501. Then for 112 Bell Street, we had 1 bid for $3,001. And Amber's passing around the cheat sheet for you guys. 512 Investment Company, 724 4th Street. The high bid was with 512 Investment, at $4,000. We did receive another bid for $3,001. So we reviewed all of them, they were all complete, they answered all of our questions on the vacant lot. So it is our, the committee's recommendation to proceed with the high bids. If you guys are generally okay with that, then we'll proceed. If you don't like it, I guess, let me know, but that's kind of where we are.
Questions or comments?
Do you know, Kay, how many of these bids was actually minimum bid, right at the minimum? Do you know offhand?
I can look through real quick. I have, well, 2501, does that count as the minimum bid? Then 2500 is the, is the minimum. The one for 9 Hart Street. And that was it.
That was the only one.
So we already established parameters earlier, so.
Yeah.
Move forward. roll
Okay.
on. Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry it took us so
What you guys
long.
did
Yeah.
turned out great.
No need to rehash it out.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry it took us a little while to get together, but we're ready to
Need
move
a
forward.
motion to approve?
No, I'm good. If you guys are okay
Okay.
with moving forward, then you'll just see a bunch of deeds come forward at some point in time and we
Yes.
can coordinate.
Be nice not to do motion.
One other question, what happens if somebody does back out?
I would probably recommend we take the next low bid, I mean, the next high bid, I'm sorry, other way.
Next bid.
The next bid, if we had one.
Good work.
So the other thing I wanna mention or make people aware, and if you're interested in more information, I'm happy to share it with you, but for some time now, there has been a territorial agreement sort of brewing between Como Electric Cooperative and Union Electric. I'm very new to the way these things have worked, so I've learned a lot along the way. So I'll just say that this is the map of the territorial agreement as proposed. The red is essentially, yes, that's Ameren. Everything in the blue is Como. So any future growth likely would result in Como territory if this territorial agreement is approved. It's before the Public Service Commission. There is a public hearing on September 15th, and it's at 6 o'clock, and it's virtual, so if anyone's interested in sitting in. I have been involved in trying to find out some information, trying to solicit rates from Como, just so I know what the budgetary impacts are to us as we continue to grow. Kind of working with how they operate, because we're obviously have been with Ameren for a long time, so what it looks like in Como territory. The only concern I have, and I guess I'm asking for some guidance, and you guys can think it over, is the only red flag I have is that when we sat down with a meeting with both Como and Ameren and their attorneys, was that if the airport is in what will be Como territory, and as it was explained to me, any new addition to the airport, so if we built a new hangar, a new terminal, would become Como. So we would have 2 utility providers on the same land. I have a little bit of concern with just from like a safety perspective, if there was an emergency and now you've got 2 utility companies, or just making sure that we're knowing who, you know, the terminal is Como, but the hangar is Ameren. I think I have made some comments more about information and seeking clarity up to date with the Public Service Commission and with Ameren and Como, but I haven't given any real opinions about whether it's good or bad, and I'd like to stay out of that, but I do see that as maybe a concern to me between now and forever. I mean, so if as a council you would like us to formulate some thoughts specific to that issue, I can do that to submit to the Public Service Commission for their concern. And if you don't want me to, that's also fine. I kind of bring that to you guys, and I'm sorry I wasn't able to give you more information or more heads up. It's sort of evolving day by day, so we've kind of been trying to track it. And I'll take questions on that if you guys have any.
Doesn't look like there's any.
Thoughts on whether or not you would like to offer those comments?
I think you should
Okay.
proceed.
Andrew?
I agree.
Cy?
I mean, I think Fox Ridge is going to be Como anyways, right?
Correct.
And I know that we have Ameren too at the airport now.
Yeah, we have Ameren at the airport.
So, yeah, I mean, that'd be my biggest concern is what you already stated about, you know, which electric company to call if something happens.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, that's just making sure that we have a fine line between the two.
Yeah. And my understanding is they did say that we as a city could petition the PSC to stay as an Ameren property with the airport, but I will not advocate for that because it's a whole different world over there. So that's the only one part I would say. Barry?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Albert? Okay. I will work on some comments and probably even share them out with you guys so you'll kind of know. But that's generally the gist of those comments. I guess I also just want to circle back to what Craig presented today to have some discussion on the letter of support he's requesting. What's your time frame?
So applications are due to MHTC 9/23.
9/23?
Yeah, so the 9/19 was what we had talked about,
Okay.
trying to get a resolution of that.
Okay. So I guess if anyone has strong feelings between now and then, you should tell me, but we'll proceed and then kind of see where that goes.
Okay, can I make a comment on that? Mm-hmm. So the letter of support, so we're not asking for any financial support or anything like that. We have talked with Kate and with Steve, kind of from a planning and zoning aspect of it. We're not asking for any approval or anything at this point, so we're going through with the application to be able to get awarded credits. So then we'll know that once we have the project awarded, then we'll go through and finalize all of our, all the drawings, plans and everything. And then we'll be coming back to the planning and zoning for all of our permitting process and everything on that. So all we're asking for is just a simple statement that says, we think that this is a good project and we ask MHDC to support the City of Boonville with the project, so thank you, Kate.
Yeah, and then the last comment I had is on page 48. I have provided the admission and concession totals for the 2022 pool season. I think.
28?
Oh, mine says 48. I got extra pages in mine. I just would draw your attention to the fact that 22,412 patrons enjoyed our pool during the 2022 season. And my hat's off to the entire pool staff, pool manager, assistant managers, Paul, and all of the parks guys, because we had essentially a repair-free summer and very little weather, which I know none of us have anything to do with, but and very few incidents. So we've received a lot of positive feedback this year. So it was a good year for the pool.
That's impressive. Okay,
Where are you at?
That looks
On
funny.
page.
Oh, just one.
gotcha.
COP debt services.
Oh, that's the, that's cost of participation. That's what the loan that we have, loans that we have outstanding. We typically have not done like traditional bonds that you go to the voters to approve. We issue COPs because usually they're backed with whatever the thing, the swimming pool, the city hall, that kind of thing. Or we pledge the gaming funds. It's another source.
Questions? None? My only question is, what is this on 27?
That's the pool, 2022
That's
pool
the pool.
total.
That's okay, so yours was 98, mine was
Mine was
27.
48, yeah. I got extra pages.
She's got some extra pages.
Okay, all right. Any, city clerk,
Nothing.
any miscellaneous? Andrew?
Just a comment. A lot of good stuff going on in this meeting. So these busy meetings are good meetings. Love seeing Scooters Coffee investment, fantastic. Club Car Wash, amazing. What Craig brought up today, more housing. It's an exciting time to be in Boonville. The Sip and Stroll's coming up, so just thank everyone that's investing in the community. It's really, really, really great to see at a town our size with all the activity that we have to go through. So just a little rah-rah speech from me, so it's really exciting.
Well said.
Good job, Andrew.
We should all agree. Okay, item 12 is a closed session. I need a motion to go into closed session, RSMO
Ned,
610.
we had a hand, I don't know if we can speak or not.
Hang on a minute.
Yeah.
610.021 legal. Now, we have something we want to do before that?
Before closing, we had somebody who was wanting to speak. Did you want to say something? Is it open or no?
That's not kosher.
It's not kosher.
That's not kosher. It's not impossible, but it's not kosher. Is it short?
It's very short and it's
All
more of
right,
an
go for it.
it's
Tell
more
us
of
who
an
you are
introduction.
first.
Good evening, my name is Karen Sue. I'm a fairly new resident of Boonville. I purchased a property on High Street, so my first question is who would be my council person if I live on High Street? Good evening, Mr. Young. And then very excited to be part of Sippin' and Strollin' and support any way I can. I'm a businesswoman and I'll support Boonville in any way I can, as we did the recent the Missouri Festival of the Arts was a donor for that. And I guess as a citizen, Mr. Meyer, thank you for being here today. Just where do we find out information as a citizen on different projects that are planned or proposed? I come from a very, very populated city in Southern California, but since I was a young girl, we called Boonville Homeville. And my mother is moving back here in 2 weeks. I'm really excited. She's wonderful to be here. And some of the questions, Mr. Turner and Mr. Elbert appreciated those, because especially on those projects, you want to know what you're voting on. So I appreciated your questions here this evening, and also the active participating of the entire council, which is very refreshing to see. So just finding out more information, I caught Jay on his way out. He's going to email me some information. I'm just the kind of person who likes to be informed about my community and support wherever I can. So my name's Karen Sue. My first council meeting probably won't be my last. So
Welcome to
thank you so much.
Boonville.
Thank you. I love it here. Thank you.
Okay, motion to move into closed session. Susan?
Second.
Second was who? Andrew? Andrew. Okay, first, second. All right, we'll see you, everybody.
What does this